I've really been looking forward to this. It's been exactly 7 days. Today I'm going to learn how to roast green coffee beans using this, a Behmor. Okay, Caleb, I've got a bag of green beans. What do I do with these?
That's right. So Sweet Maria's is where I get my beans. They have a lot. They have this nice description. This is El Salvador, dry process, and it describes stewed apple pear, rustic sweetness of palm sugar. How do we get that is we've got to use the roaster. And there's a lot of different roasters. I started on a popcorn popper from like 1970s, the popcorn poppery 2. What you need is you need a lot of heat. I hate to say it, but it's a glorified toaster oven. It's modified. So this is chaff collector, so it collects the outside of the bean as it roasts, okay, and falls off. And this is the drum. So we put our coffee beans in here, and it has a motor that turns the drum as the heating elements heat up the coffee. And so by turning, they're always tumbling, and it has these little brackets in here that move the beans around and back and forth and up and down, and it keeps them from burning.
So this is, the beans are going to be constantly in motion, spinning in this.
Yeah.
Heat applied from the
back. From the back.
Yeah. And then the other thing is like knowing when to take the beans out, right?
That's where the art comes in. First crack is the moisture inside the bean is starting to expand, and it kind of sounds like maybe almost like bacon sizzling or maybe even popcorn. Second crack is when the bean really explodes with expansion, and that's more like popcorn. But once you get into second crack, that's more like French roast, Vienna roast, super heavy dark kind of stuff.
So yeah. Given these beans, kind of what's the optimal amount of roasting that we want to do?
Well, Sweet Maria's actually tells you, so city to full city, which is going to be towards the end of first crack, kind of in between first and second crack. So we definitely don't want to go into second crack with these beans.
Okay, so it's all about timing.
Timing and listening, and then watching, smelling, yeah. So we're gonna start with half a pound. Okay, that pops up 12 minutes. And there are a lot of different roast profiles, but we'll just do P1, and it's as easy as hitting start. The predicted amount of time was 12 minutes to go into first crack. We're not there yet. So the time is blinking. We only have 40 something seconds before it goes into the cool cycle. So we're gonna go ahead and hit C, making the machine think that it went into first crack, but it hasn't yet. So we did that, and it just added another 2 minutes to the timer. We're gonna go ahead and start the cooling process now to get that started cooling down. All right, so it has finished the cooling cycle, and the beans are done, cool to the touch, and so you can see they're a nice medium roast, and if you want to, you can kind of give them a shake. Make sure all the chaff is out before we take them inside, and put them in an airtight container and just leave them there for a week.
It's been exactly 7 days. The bloom on this thing, it just like bubbled up. It shows the difference of using fresh beans. So yeah, a nice fresh cup of coffee. Cheers, Caleb.